What's up YouTube? Welcome to King Codes. In this tutorial, we'll be talking about how to blink an LED by clapping your hands. Let's get started. The requirements for this project are a sound sensor module, a breadboard, an Arduino, an LED, a 220 ohm resistor, a couple of male to male jumper wires, and a couple of male to female jumper wires. Now let's move on to the circuit. As you can see on this LED, there are two legs. The longer is the positive leg and the shorter is the negative leg. I'll connect that to the breadboard. The 220 ohm resistor will be connected in series with the LED. So one of the legs, it will go either on the positive leg or the negative leg. For this tutorial, I'll be using the positive leg on the LED. And the other leg of the resistor, it goes on the breadboard. Now the other leg of the resistor will be connected to digital pin number 8 on the Arduino. And the remaining leg on the LED, the negative leg, it will be connected to ground pin on the breadboard. Right now the ground pin on the breadboard does not have any power. We'll fix that later on. Now let's move on to the sound sensor. As you can see on the sound sensor, there is a receiver. This receiver is going to receive any input that we provide. And then there is this potentiometer. So what this potentiometer does is it changes the threshold of the sound sensor. So what the threshold means is if the sound passes a certain point, then our LED is going to blink. I would like to point this out that this potentiometer is not related to the sensitivity of this sound sensor. So no matter how much you play around with this potentiometer, the sensitivity or the gain of the sound sensor is not going to change. So it's just for the threshold. Now let's move on to the pins. As you can see here, the first pin is the analog pin. The second pin is the ground pin G. The positive pin is the power pin, and the DO pin is the digital pin. Since we'll be using the analog input, which is the sound, I'll be connecting this AO pin with A0 pin on the Arduino. I'll also be connecting this ground pin to the ground pin on the breadboard. And finally, the plus pin, it goes to the 5-volt pin on the Arduino. Since the breadboard does not have any negative power, I'm going to use the ground pin from the Arduino and then connect that to the ground pin on the breadboard. So with this, our setup is complete. Now let's move on to the code. As you can see, the first few lines I've initialized sound pin and the LED pin. So LED pin is pin number 8, sound pin is pin number A0. And also the sound sensor value initially is initialized to 0, and threshold I've set it to 550. In void setup, I've initialized LED pin as output because we'll be getting an output from the LED, and sound pin is the input, and serial begin is just so we can print out the sound sensor value. So in void loop section, the first thing I've done is I've read the value of the sound from the sound sensor, and then I've used serial print to print the value. And then the most important part of this code is if the sound sensor is greater than or equal to the threshold, then the LED will turn on for 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. If not, then the LED will remain off. So let's go ahead and connect our Arduino with the computer and upload our code. As you can see, the code works. I want to show you guys how the potentiometer works. You can play around with this potentiometer and you'll see on the screen right now the value has gone up to 400, and if I move it to the other side, then you'll see that the threshold point has reached and the value is now more than 600. So you can just play around with this potentiometer and set it up in such a way that LED turns off, and then you can provide the input and then make the LED turn on. That's it for today, guys. I hope you like this video. I'll put the code to this tutorial in the description section, and if you like this video, then please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.